Alright, so this is the scene that I have in Blender that you've just seen the video of. The one thing I noticed after taking the final output was that there was a lot of noise in each of my images. I'm not sure what that noise was because I did check my render settings, which were around 0.1 for the noise levels, and the render samples were around 24, which was quite low considering that I had to get this render out in a specific amount of time. Yeah, so let's go over it. So let me just hide a lot of things because a lot of things are just the assets that I got from Sketchfab. So let's turn off the fog. Yep, so now we have the ground, which is what I started with, right? And let me just turn off the particles. And this is a simple plane mesh. This is a mesh. This is a plane that let me just create one for you. And it's over here. And now if I increase this to whatever size you want, and if I go into edit mode and I subdivide it into say 100, and then make sure I have this on, and I click any point, I scroll up or scroll down to increase the size, and I deform it, right? I deform each of these, right? So this is how I got this, right? I hope you can see the difference or what I'm trying to prove here, right? So these deformations are indeed caused by this, and not only this. So apply all transforms and then go into modifiers and subdivision surface modifiers. So this is the modifier I gave. These are the modifiers that I have. So let me just go ahead and see. Yeah, I have applied that modifier. That's why you can't see it in the tab over here. And this is basically it. Now the second thing that I did was download the add-on, right? So the add-on is called Geoscatter, and the free version is called, let me see, Biome. So Biome Reader. So this is what you have to install. This is a free version, and there's also an extension pack, or I'd rather say an asset library. So enter interface. I'll try to leave the links of each of these in the description so that you can go ahead, download it, and open library. Oops, this doesn't work. So I'll show you basically what is happening. So here, if I have the add-on, right, yeah, so these are basically the scatter that I have, and if I want, I can have another layer, and I can open my biomes and see these are the biomes that I have. These are all grass. You know, I wanted dry grass, autumn grass. This is the grass that I used, and this is the grass that you can see. It gets a bit heavy in the viewport, that's why I have switched it off. Alright, now the second thing that I added was another layer called water. So this is also just a plain mesh with a water material. So for that I've used Blender Kit. So go into materials, search for water, and you have water, right? And I'll show you what are the settings that I did. Shader editor, yep, water 2.0. Now just play around with these values and you can get the kind of water texture that you need, right? And Blender Kit does provide you with a lot of free materials for, especially for water. There are a lot of materials you can choose from. And for the HDRI, I'll show you what I use for the HDRI. This is basically the default nodes. The only thing that I did was use this overcast soil kind of HDRI. I got it from Polyhaven for free and connect it to an emission node and set it to a particular strength. And connect this background and this to a mix shader and connect this to the output. So basically that's how I got the total environment going on, right? And I don't want to explain too much about the assets because I did get them free from Sketchfab. You can see there's a signboard here, and there is a bench over here, and there's a flag as well. The other thing that I want to talk about that gives the overall vibe of the scene is the fog, right? So we'll just go ahead and yeah, let me just turn these on. Armature, okay, no need for armature. Let me go ahead and give the trees. And where's the ground? Let's go back to the ground and turn on the particle system, right? And if I go to the material shader tab, viewport shading, you can see that there's fog, and fog is what gives the overall depth of field to the scene. And for fog, what I've done is, this is basically a cube with a wireframe display, and what I have done to the cube is just give it a shader, principal volume material, and basically when you do Control T on this principal volume, you get these nodes, and basically you have to make a gradient texture node and a color ramp node, and you have to play around with these values. So if I play around with this, you can see that it's all totally foggy, right? And see, if I can play around with these values, as well as I can play around with the value of anisotropy, and I can actually play around with the color of the fog. So you can you get this, basically you get the kind of vibe that you got going for you, right? That's basically that's the whole thing about Blender, right? It's just create the vibe that you want. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. This is the environment. And yeah, let me tell you about the trees. So the trees, so these two trees I got from Blender kit. If you just search for tree, you'll get a bunch of trees. I selected 2 trees and select the ground, right? With the ground selected, you have to scatter this tree on it using a particle system. So you scatter hair on it, and in this tab, basically, let me just see where it was. Yeah, so you have to render the hair as a collection, and this collection is nothing but the collection of tree. And what is that collection? It's nothing but vertex groups. So this tree belongs to a vertex group, this tree belongs to a vertex group, and this is the scatter. And when you select that collection, it you get this kind of environment with all these trees and the fog. And yeah, I mean, this is not a very detailed tutorial. This is just how I went about making this scene. And of course, the major thing about this is the nuclear reactor. Where is it? Yep. And this is the thing that gives the whole vibe to the scene. Yeah, that's basically it. I'll try to make more detailed videos from my next video onwards, but yeah, I kind of I'm getting into the groove of Blender, and yeah, you'll be seeing more videos of this in the future. And stay tuned. I am hoping to deliver a video every week. Let's see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Catch ya in the next one. Peace.